Welcome to Catamount Football with Coach Matt Land. I'm Bill Mayo, and on this week's show, we're going to take a look back at the North Atlanta game and also discuss this week's upcoming game with the Cass Colonels. So stay right here. We'll be back with more Catamount Football in just a minute.
Got car problems? That's no problem for Transformers Transmission Specialists. Bring your foreign or domestic vehicle into Transformers and have our certified master technicians perform the most comprehensive diagnostics over any other shop. Transformers utilizes the latest technology, so you can rest assured that you get the proper diagnosis the first time, so only necessary repairs are made. Save time and money on all your brake, AC, tune-up, and transmission needs. All backed by the best warranty in the business. Transformers Transmission Specialists.
When is the last time you have compared your car, life, or health insurance cost? At Advanced Insurance Strategies, we know your time is valuable. Therefore, we have developed AdvancedInsuranceStrategies.com. You can now go online anytime, anywhere, and get quick and easy quotes for your car, life, or health insurance from respected companies such as Blue Cross Blue Shield of Georgia, Assurant Health, Alliant Health Plans, and Drive Insurance from Progressive. Receive unparalleled customer service from a local insurance agency while using AdvancedInsuranceStrategies.com.
Well, Coach Land, let's talk a little bit about the North Atlanta game. Certainly a disjointed start to things with it being with the rain and the lightning and senior night.
Yeah.
But I thought the team did a good job of handling the adjustments, the adversity.
Unfortunately, I think the story of the night was adversity. Even though if you watched the game and you looked on the film and particularly looked at the score, you would go, oh, that must have been a good game. But clearly from the beginning, literally from the time we got on the bus until the time we got back on the bus to go back, it seemed like every scheduled event that we had was in some way disrupted, whether it was weather or the senior night or whatever.
Why don't you explain the rules so people kind of understand what goes into making that decision about what time the game's going to start?
Well, it's funny. I've not been a part of any Lightning games in probably the last 5 years, and then this year I've already been a part of 2 of them. And so I've gotten pretty good at these rules. And what it is, from the time, as long as there's lightning strikes beyond 8 miles.
And our trainer has a lightning detector.
That's right. Yeah, it's not like somebody's out there, licking their thumb up there or holding a fence. The trainer has a device that has basically different gauges. And once it gets within 8 miles, you have to suspend all activities. And once those activities are suspended, from the moment of the last lightning strike, and she's tracking it, it's 30 minutes. Now, most people think, so then 30 minutes we can get back on the field. Well, no, 30 minutes you can start warming up again. You still got to go back out and go through the warm-up process. So, as a general rule, basically when you see there's lightning strike, you're talking an hour, generally. Now, It could be less than that, but it's about an hour from the time you come off the field. That's the quickest you're going to see that game resume. So that's the reason why as coaches, as players, and ultimately as fans, you just, you can deal with rain. Just don't, we just don't want any lightning.
And certainly want to err on the side of safety if there's any question about it. So,
absolutely.
But so we got beyond that, started the game. I don't believe the final score is indicative of what kind of football team that North Atlanta has.
No, not at all.
They are an extremely athletic team.
they're a team, and we said this during the scouting report last week, and I believe it was proved on the field the other night. This is a team. They're going to win some games. They're a young team. They're a relatively young school. As you can tell, they didn't have really, and in fact, one of the things that Coach and I talked about before the game, they're struggling to find tradition. And he said the reason why we're excited about playing Dalton is this is one of those tradition programs in this state. And he said, I told our boys coming up here, take it in. Take this. This is what it's like to play. Told his fans, take it in. This is what, and that's really the piece that they're missing. You look on the field, they've got athletes. They look better than us at multiple positions. They don't quite have the numbers because that's not what that school particularly is about. But they had 60 to 65 kids that could definitely come out and play and make a good team. I think there's just that piece that they're missing is putting together that tradition, the expectations, and at the end of the day, he's playing a lot of young guys as well. He's like us.
I thought they were very good. I mean, they were having to play some guys both ways, and they got a little winded, but they did a nice job of subbing them. But they were very athletic and they were very hard nosed. I was impressed with them. I mean, they really did a good job.
And
they gave us some problems.
A lot of those guys played both ways.
They gave us some problems up front. I mean, they really did. So.
Well, they were a good football team.
Yeah, but all around, a nice victory offensively. Scored a lot of points. Defensively, put them in a bad place right there on that first possession with a fumble. Yeah. But defense bowed their back, held them to a field goal.
Well, we'll watch the film here in just a few minutes, and as you watch, you'll see some great individual performances. We had some guys that clearly had the best game. Jay Chastain, great game on offense, great game on defense. Had some people step up that normally were not going to step up. Great situation with Kelvis coming back. Kelvis coming back, he gets his yards on the ground. Tyler Nolan simply goes out at receiver and gets 107 yards in pass receiving. So, I mean, there was so many great storylines. But the thing that I liked about it is from a unit standpoint, I thought our offense played well as a unit. I thought our defense played good as a unit, and special teams was sound again.
Absolutely, very good. Well, let's take a quick break. When we come back, we'll have more Catamount football.
You asked for more HD channels and Optilink delivered. Check out hit series and current movies on MAV TV, FXX, and Universal. Like reality and nature shows, try Discovery and TLC. For music lovers, we added Great American Country and Access TV. And for the kids, we added HD versions of Animal Planet, Disney Channel, and National Geographic. And when you need to unwind, try Escapes TV. For more details, go to optilink.us.
Have you ever heard the term, your eyes are your expressions, the windows to your soul? But when your eyelids look tired and they start to sag, it will make you look much older than you actually are. There is a simple surgical procedure called a blepharoplasty or eyelid tuck, which can help to rejuvenate and redefine the contours around your eyelids. It will even improve your fields of vision, and a portion may even be covered by insurance. We can help redefine how others see you.
Back on the Catamount Football Show, we've got our player interview segment. Guys, welcome to the show. Introduce yourself, please.
I'm Jace Chastain. I'm a junior. I'm number 10, and I play outside linebacker.
I'm Wyatt Irwin. I'm a junior receiver, tight end. I'm number 32.
Now, Jace, you left off. You're also a part-time kind of quarterback for us too, right?
Yes, sir.
Let's talk about that a little bit, about the transition. You'll work in practice on defense and be over there with the first team in defense, and you'll come over and run some offense. How about that? How about the transition between those two positions? Because they're very, very different, in not only physically but also in the mental aspect. Talk about that a little bit.
Well, as a quarterback, you're going to read the outside linebackers in the secondary, so that's kind of, I'm already getting the both types of side of the ball from that perspective. So
how does that help you as a defender? That when you play quarterback, you kind of understand what they're looking at. How does that help you as a defender?
It helps you disguise the coverages maybe better, and just kind of gives you a better perspective of the whole entire secondary.
Talk about the main position you're playing on defense. Kind of go over your responsibilities and what your job is on Friday nights.
Well, I play outside linebacker, and my job is to either set the corner or cover the curl.
Explain what you mean by setting the corner. Somebody that doesn't know what football is, tell us what that means.
That's turning the ball in whenever the runner's coming towards you. I'm just reading like the tackle, if it's high hat or low hat, and that's just telling you if it's a run or a pass.
because all your buddies are back on the inside, so you want to keep that. You want to make that guy, that runner, that ball carrier, break back to the inside, right? So the guys can chase him down and tackle him, right?
Yes, sir.
Tell me about the game Friday night. You played very well against North Atlanta, a couple of big hits. Talk about the game.
Well, it was an overall pretty good game for our defense. The first drive was a little bit, we were getting things together, but as the game progressed and we went on, we seemed to come together more and just play really well, I think.
They were a very athletic team too, weren't they? I mean, they had some good players.
Yes, they were very fast.
Yeah, very good. Well, thanks for coming on the show, and good luck with the rest of the season. Now, Wyatt, let's talk to you. You've been playing some receiver. You've been playing some tight end. Friday night, you get pressed into service, start the game at tight end, chases out with a sore back, and so tell me about playing tight end Friday night.
It was a big jump, but I feel like you and Coach Land had me ready to switch over, and I was ready for it.
Kind of go through the difference. I mean, you've been playing receiver now for the last year or so, and you're out there standing up outside the box, and now you're back with your hand in the dirt and in there with all the big guys. Talk about the difference in those two positions and you know, kind of your perspective from just how you see the game from just even when you first line up, because when you're out at receiver, you're standing straight up looking inside, and now you're down there with everybody.
Receiver, that's different. You got to be fast. You got to be mentally strong. You got to be reading the safeties and corners, and you got to have a lot of finesse with you. And then lineman, you got to be ready to fight. It's a battle in there.
Every play, right?
Every play.
So tell me about the game Friday night for you. I mean, there were a very athletic defense, but I think you did a good job of holding your own. Talk about the game.
Overall, we did really good as an offense. I had really good players, so it was tough for us to handle them, but I think we did a really good job.
How about the mental part of switching positions? I mean, it's one thing the physical, you talked about that, but now you've got to learn a second position and really know what to do. You don't have a lot of time to think, and I thought you did a great job of handling that. I don't remember you really even having any busted plays, so that's a tribute to you getting yourself ready. Talk about that part of the switch.
It is a big transition. Really, you just got to keep your head in the game and remember what you were taught.
All right. Well, very good, guys. Thanks for coming on the show, and good luck with the rest of the season. So we'll be watching you Friday night against the Cass Colonels. So right here, we'll be back with more player interviews in just a minute.
Train like a pro at Performance Sports Academy. Get one-on-one training from former professional and collegiate players, featuring indoor baseball and softball training facilities, ground ball area, 3 pitching mounds, and 4 batting cages. Performance Sports Academy is also available for team rentals. Call 706-537-3169 today and train like a pro at Performance Sports Academy.
Okay, here's your problem. We're going to have to make a replacement. Here is your prescription. Call Carpet Express immediately. Saw. Hammer. Perfect. Another successful replacement by Carpet Express.
Welcome back to Catamount Football. We've got our second half of our player interview segment. Guys, welcome to the show and introduce yourselves, please.
I'm Logan Mathis. I'm number 71, and I play on the offensive line at center.
And I'm Warner Braun. I play defensive line, number 70.
All right, Warner, let's talk to you. Tell me about, first off, you were out a couple of weeks with a meniscus injury, and so how's your knee feeling? And talk about the process of getting yourself back ready to play.
It feels great. My knee is like fully recovered now. It's just when I take a hit and it gets swollen, but it feels good to be back. I'm ready to practice and get back into the game.
Tell us about working with Crystal Clark. She's our trainer, and she doesn't get a lot of fanfare, but she does a great job, doesn't she? Tell me kind of what she put you through to help you get back ready to play.
Oh, the recovery is just terrible. It's so hard. She takes really good pride in what she does, and you can tell that she takes it very seriously, especially by the workouts, just running a lot and making sure your legs are fully recovered.
Yeah, I saw her working you guys out over there during practice. She's got you guys going, doing lots of different exercises and making sure you're ready to go when you're back healthy. So talk to me about being back now. How was tell me about the North Atlanta game Friday night.
The North Atlanta game was pretty great. It was like my first game where I felt like I was fully recovered, and I thought that they could play me and use me a lot. The Calhoun game, I felt like I was just kind of getting back into stride.
Right.
Messed up a couple times, mental mistakes, but it's good to be back now, and I felt like the North Atlanta game was just a good game to like learn all my strategies.
You've kind of become our designated pass rusher. You get turned into a little bit of a pass rush specialist. How did that develop?
I don't know. I didn't really think I was special pass rusher, but there's this move that I learned and tried to teach a couple of guys, and they can do it too. But
explain what you do, because it's very effective. I've seen you do it to our guys. I've seen you do it to guys in the game.
Well, basically, I just make contact with the linemen, and I wait for them to lean one way, and then when I feel their weight go forward, I could just throw them by. It helps with the wrestling.
It even gets you some momentum, doesn't it, going past?
Yes,
so that kind of corresponds with your wrestling career. Talk about that.
Well, I think wrestling is really important, especially if you want to learn like good control of your body, and you need to have your hips in the right place all the time, and you can learn how to control the other person. So I think wrestling helps a lot with football.
All right. Well, very good. Well, thanks for coming on the show, and good luck this week against Cass.
Thank you, sir.
All right, Logan, let's talk to you now. You said you played center, but you left out a couple other positions. Talk about your versatility, because you can really line up at all 5 offensive line positions if we need you to, right?
I'm all over the place. I started off at tackle during spring practice, and I eventually moved to guard some, and then that led to center. That's pretty good, because if any player gets hurt, I can jump there and know what to do and how to play it and execute.
How is it mentally at handling all that? I mean, there's a lot of assignments. There's a lot of things to know. Have you it seems like you don't have many problems mentally with your plays. How do you kind of connect all the dots between each one of those positions?
It makes it easier, if you ask me, because if you know that a guard's pulling, and if I'm at center, I'm going to have to kick back on the guy lined up on him, and it really just makes it easier to connect the dots.
So tell me about your first start Friday night at center for the Catamounts. How was that? Was that exciting? Tell me what was going through your mind, kind of what you were thinking.
Just keeping my nerves calm, having to make sure I got all my blocking assignments down and reading what I had to read.
Yeah. We ask our centers to do a lot of things. I mean, clearly snapping the ball is the number one priority, but then you'll have to shotgun snap. But we also ask you to get out and pull and run. And talk about playing that position in particular, because you're kind of right in the middle of everything and got a lot of responsibilities there.
It's a pretty stressful position, knowing that the play doesn't go anywhere without you. But then having to be quick off your feet and either to make a wide scoop or to pull around and hit the linebacker.
All right, we did a great job, and I look forward to seeing you guys this week. Thanks for coming on, and good luck with the rest of the season.
Thanks.
Thank you.
So right here, we'll be back with more Catamount football in just a minute.
I can't believe it's football time again here in Northwest Georgia. The Oakwood Cafe and my family are big fans of football, much like most of our customers. But this year, instead of just rooting for our teams, we're also rooting for your team. So bring your ticket stub out to the Oakwood Cafe on Saturday night, and you will receive a discount based on your team's margin of victory. If your team wins by 50 points, you will receive 50% off. So good luck, and come on out to the Oakwood Cafe on Saturday night. Go Big Red!
Go Lions!
Honesty, integrity, and hard work, leadership, quality, and value. Just a few words to describe the company and people that make up Shaw Industries. Shaw Industries, the world's leading carpet manufacturer, is proud to be a sponsor of Dalton Catamount football. Shaw Industries, where great floors begin.
Families are the heart of our region. That is why Hamilton is here. Hamilton Medical Center's Turner Maternal and Infant Care Center provides expert care with the comfort of home-like rooms and amenities, with on-site neonatologists and a Level 3 neonatal intensive care unit where parents can stay overnight with their new baby if a NICU stay is needed. We're here for you. Hamilton Medical Center. Your health is our mission.
Coach, we've got the highlights of the first half here. Let's take a look at I don't think Brandon showed any of the rain or lightning or anything for us. But well, he did. There he goes.
There it is. That's what we came to. That's what we opened up the field house to.
Absolutely. So we had a delay of about an hour or so, and felt like it was back in the old days with the 8:30, the 8:30 start.
Wasn't it nice?
It was. I loved it.
Low humidity, no sun glaring in your face. I enjoyed it. It kind of makes me miss the deep fall.
I know.
When we get into those games with the time change.
But there's a good shot of the guys coming through the banner, and we had a good crowd. Like we said earlier, they came back after the rain delay, and certainly appreciated them showing up. Good catch by Peter there, and just ball gets popped out. I put the defense in a tough position right here that's the first possession of the game.
Yeah, that's one of those where we have to we just got to minimize the bleeding,
right.
I guess you'd say. But the defense did a good job of coming in, forcing the field goal. Had great stops right here, playing off. It was good to have Chipper out there. We'd really worried about Chipper being able to be with us. He didn't practice most of the week, and we should say that we had a couple of offensive starters that we wound up not playing as well Friday night. Good sound job by Yul Perez inside, though, and Jace probably had, right now, probably the best game of his career. Defensively, but particularly offensively, as we'll see later on as well.
So down 3-0 in the first quarter, come back. There's Kelvis doing what Kelvis does. Good to have him back out on the field running around.
Absolutely. Little number 30 for them was very active. He was a guy that was all over the field for us, caused a lot of problems for us early on.
Just our little counter play. This ended up being our best running play Friday night, just based on the way that they were playing us defensively. Good throw and catch right here. Pretty pass, nice run up the catch. Just nice job. Well, executed football play.
Well, one of the things that you want to do is anytime when Peter fumbled, I could tell that Peter didn't want to fumble.
Right.
He was trying to get extra yards. That's just extra work and extra effort that he's putting out. Get the ball back to the guy. I mean, let him know you still have faith in him. Let him know you still have confidence in him. Good sound job by our snapper and holder this week, Matthew Howell, snapping for us now, and Tyler Britton doing our holding, and, of course, Kiko kicking for us. Good job here of Isai Hernandez. Just, he's a junior for us, and great to see him helping in a way that helps our football team.
Yeah, such an advantage to kick it in the end zone.
Oh, no doubt. And with a wet field, that's pretty good to get that. Great play right here. You see Jace coming in, and then you see David Rocco making a tackle. David was very active the other night. David had about 8 tackles. Good job of Jace, just terrible right there, not breaking down. Good job of Ural, though, forcing him into Ural. Once again, you want to give yourself a lot of excitement, and thankfully we got some guys that like to get excited. So good job, Jake Myers, and those guys getting up in there. Run a screen pass here, and I'm going to tell you something. 15 comes flying in. Another good job right there, though, of Jamel. Jamel's become a very, very good screen player for us. We get a little pressure right here. Thought we had it, and just barely tipped it. So a big turnover for us right here, even though it was on downs. Great to see an opportunity there for us to get a short field and try to put that in.
There's a good picture of the crowd and the cheerleaders working hard.
Great crowd. Ooh.
Wyatt Irwin has some terrific hands, and I was really surprised that he didn't catch that ball. Normally he catches
exactly.
everything.
Great job of Eder right there, getting upfield, forcing a bump. Good to see Travis Nielsen back this week with his broken wrist. Just a good job this week of him coming back and playing off of an injury. Once again, Jace was all over the field the other night. He did a great job of, like I said, this game plan that we had, and you kind of can see a little bit of the difference. Was something that we talked about, something we learned. That Scottsboro game, which we should mention, Scottsboro's gone 3-0 since playing us. So, I felt like we beat a good team that night. Good job here. Jordan McKinney is as sound a corner at the high school level as you'll find. He does so many things well that helps our defense, and he's really our shutdown corner.
So, come back, start of the second quarter. Good throw there by Peyton to Tyler Nolan, and Tyler does a great job of making people miss.
Smart play by here, by Tyler. One of the things I want as much contact on the field as possible. But, there's unnecessary contact.
Absolutely.
You got a guy running 25 yards at you. Why take that hit? Get outside.
Good job of Kelvis keeping his feet going after contact.
Absolutely. Our ball boy down there getting his own drink of water. So, of course, that's my son. What's he doing? No, great job right there of Kelvis just being Kelvis.
Later on in the drive, another good throw and catch right there down to the 2-yard line.
Yeah, that was our big 7-on-7. I'm going to have to eat my words about not liking 7-on-7. Those 2 passes that we've had there came right from our 7-on-7, so I may have to rethink my effectiveness of that.
There's Logan Pender just on the trap, just bulling his way in the end zone.
I'm going to tell you something. I love Logan Pender.
Oh, I do too. I like to get him going.
He's a guy we're going to get the ball to Logan more. I mean, Logan's you're talking about 217 pounds and knows how to run, stays behind his shoulders. Got some pretty good blood in his line too. I remember a pretty good fullback.
Absolutely. So it's 14-3.
Great defensive play coming up, and one of the things that not this one, that one wasn't a good one. That right there hit him right in the hands. But get good pressure right here, run a screen, and just a great job right there of Nate playing off, and then of course Eder coming up, cleaning up a little bit, and we got the created a turnover, but wasn't able to get it. We get, they did this funky thing with their. I mean, they really wanted to basically reverse every time. I mean, run it every time. Mm-hmm. But just one of those things that you fight through the game and adjust to them.
Good call on the screen there.
Absolutely.
They were rushing hard. The offensive lineman came out the sidelines asking for us to throw the screen because of the way they were rushing the passer. And you can see we really do a nice job of taking advantage of it. Guys get downfield, try to get in front of somebody. There's Chris Hicks.
Great job, Chris, getting downfield. Kyrick getting downfield. Yep. Of course, our receivers getting downfield and blocking.
There's Evan Stewart and Evan Pope and Hayden down there. There's a trap again. Now this is Keith Adams running the trap. A little bowling ball.
There's not a lot of surface area to make contact on with Keith.
No, he's in there bouncing off people, and here comes Kelvis. A great ground shot of Kelvis.
Yep.
Carrying the ball on a power play.
Kelvis, one of the things that we've really worked this year on him is just really getting up, and getting vertical fast. He's a guy that's got a lot of moves.
This is kind of indicative of the way they play their defense. You can really see him over pursuing everything here on the rollout, and Peyton just does a nice job of picking his way back, and there's nobody.
Yeah,
there's nobody playing contain on the backside.
Yeah, and a lot of us do that.
They're so aggressive. They're just so aggressive.
Yeah, when you roll out, you're basically not going to throw it to the backside flat. So a lot of people just kind of almost just bring the house. And you're right. Great job right there. Great job of Peyton seeing that. And that's the advantage of having a senior quarterback that's got a lot of games under his belt. Another good kick right here down to the 2. This guy was a dangerous. Number 8 has some speed. We did a great job. Coach Thompson did a great job of working on our contained on our kickoff team, being sure that we kept those guys contained. Good break by Jordan. High pass. Come back, try to throw. Of course, Eder, he's going to get his pick, which is a great thing about it. And,
he's going to find the football.
That's right. Good job right there of Maddox Houghton coming up, blitzing, turning it in to Jace, and turning it in. Of course, Jace got great lateral speed. I mean, he's our one equalizer off the backside many times. Of course, when you got a 6'3", 197-pound guy can run 4.47, that's pretty good.
Coming out of the hole there, and there's Kelvis just taking off. That guy broke his stride a little bit. Otherwise, I think he might have gone the distance.
And, this is a different Kelvis to some degree. Kelvis is the guy that likes to make a lot of moves, and back to the point I was making earlier. Kelvis got north right here and trusted his speed. And, we know that, we know he's not a blazer. That's not who he is. But what he is, he's a guy that when he gets in, he can create some space and just a great job of getting out in the open field right there. Like I said, it's a great run for us.
That was the counter again, and that was by far our best
it was.
Run play. Here's just an edge play we've been working on, and Tyler punished that guy.
That is one of the
come up to tackle him, and he punished him.
If that ain't on a highlight film somewhere, I don't know what is. You're gonna get a great view of it here. Similar to Sammy Coates last year at Auburn, just hit and push that guy down. Just a great. I mean, Vic's thing is he put about 14 pounds on this year in off season. And it has really fared well for him because he has already got a lot of great moves, but he's a powerful guy. He is really a powerful guy. And that we never question his effort.
Good to get a field goal. I mean, we always want a touchdown, but it's nice for the kicker to have some success.
You need confidence. You know that about kickers. So with that being the case, it's good to have him, Kiko, be able to come in and nail one.
Got car problems? That's no problem for Transformers Transmission Specialists. Bring your foreign or domestic vehicle into Transformers and have our certified master technicians perform the most comprehensive diagnostics over any other shop. Transformers utilizes the latest technology, so you can rest assured that you get the proper diagnosis the first time, so only necessary repairs are made. Save time and money on all your brake, AC, tune-up, and transmission needs. All backed by the best warranty in the business. Transformers Transmission Specialists.
When is the last time you have compared your car, life, or health insurance cost? At Advanced Insurance Strategies, we know your time is valuable. Therefore, we have developed AdvancedInsuranceStrategies.com. You can now go online anytime, anywhere, and get quick and easy quotes for your car, life, or health insurance from respected companies such as Blue Cross Blue Shield of Georgia, Assurant Health, Alliant Health Plans, and Drive Insurance from Progressive. Receive unparalleled customer service from a local insurance agency while using AdvancedInsuranceStrategies.com.
All right, Coach, we're back with the second half highlights, and they're a little bit abbreviated due to a rule that I don't think many people like, that running clock in the fourth quarter.
No, absolutely not. And you know what? Not only the teams that are winning don't like it, but sometimes the team losing don't like it, because it really cuts your development time out of playing some of your younger guys.
There's no substitute for game snaps, and it just takes them away from the kids.
That's right. Good job here of Eder, and of course, you know, Tucker Sumner played a solid game for us the other night. Good job right there of being physical and aggressive. Everything seemed a little bit in slow motion the other night, you know, because of the rain and everything.
Here comes the counter again, and there's Kelvis on it. This was such a good play for us because of the way they over-pursued, but also the way they were coming off the edges. It really kept us – the toss sweep is our bread and butter running play, and we really were they challenged us the way they played defense. It made it very difficult to try to run that play. So instead of forcing it, we just went to something different, and it really worked out. A little kind of an option play for our quarterback here, and he makes a good choice and throws it out to Tyler, and you see the guys, Tyler Britton and Chris Hicks, running around downfield there.
Great to see Chris getting downfield.
30, 40 yards downfield.
We worked hard on this play last couple of weeks because so many teams now are beginning to cover up on Zeke. They're beginning to cover up on Peter, and you just can't cover everybody. And so, you know, we got to take – this goes back to that take what they give us principle. Good job here, yep. Zeke. They clearly put their best athlete on Zeke. We tried to throw to him about 4 times, and thankfully we were able to get the one here that counted. Good job of adjusting to the ball in the air.
They continually you see guys coming free on the pass rush because they continually brought one more than we had to protect, and they were just gambling, taking the chance. Yep. And that's why the passing game was so good the other night, was because of the way they were playing.
Yeah, we were 9 of 15 for 207 yards passing, and sometimes we think a passing team is determined by the number of passes, and I would argue that. Great job here of Eder, just being aware of the ball and just being able to get over and make that interception. You'll see it right here. I think they're just trying to throw a deep fade, get a good collision right there out of McKinney, and great job right there on the interception. Beautiful pass.
Yep, and a great
Beautiful
catch.
pass, great catch.
He threw that ball where only Peter Sigmund could catch it. Defense did not have a chance at it. Just a pretty touchdown.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Now 37-3 and 5 minutes to go in the third quarter.
And from this point, it's pretty much a downhill slide regarding the clock. I mean, I don't remember, you know, there's so many plays that just you lose when you have that running clock. Great job right there of Nate coming up. I tell you, this is 34 for them. I talked to him at the game, though. Just a great player and clearly one of their leaders.
He did a good job for him defensively.
He sure did. They just run a little angle route right here, and boy, Nate just kisses him right in the mouth. Big hit, big hit. Not sure right there what Jordan McKinney was doing. So great hit there by Jace, and the ball strips out, and Jace gets the fumble. We had just talked about the fact of him being a little bit more aggressive on that when he gets that read. And like I said, just a great job.
That ball might have changed hands 2 or 3 times.
Yeah, I think it did down there. But you'll see him. He comes up right there, boom, puts his head right on the ball. Puts his helmet right on the ball. And there's you get a lot of. Of course, I think somebody was trying to recover Warner's foot. It looked like so.
So that's the end of the third, and the fourth quarter is now played in real time. It's a 12-minute quarter, and it's over in 12 minutes unless there's a timeout. The clock doesn't stop for a penalty or for an extra point or
nothing.
Nothing. It runs.
Yeah, and that's I think that's the point that so many coaches, like I said, even those teams, it's okay to have a running clock where there's running clock. You got 12 minutes of activity.
Right.
But to just have 12 minutes, you could have a slow official, spotting a foul and spend half your time on penalties.
Yep.
Great job there of Charlie of being in position. We got good pressure, got the ball up high. Come back, we put Jace at quarterback.
There's Kyrick coming around on a jet sweep right there. There he goes again. There's Jake Thomas in there, Daniel Hurtado.
And Frankie Calderon.
Caden Stokes in there at right tackle, one of our young fellows that's going to be a good player for us.
I'll tell you, Kyrick's going to be a good back, and I think one of the things for us this year is going to be neat to watch us see how many different ways we can get him the ball. Not only as a returner, we're getting him a lot of reps right now in practice, and I think he's one that's definitely going to be able to help us.
Very
good adjustment
talented.
Here.
Yeah, and this is Jace just being an athlete now, outrunning these guys for the end zone.
Great job there. Great job. And Jace is such a viable threat right now. We're playing him at fullback. We're playing him at tailback. Playing him at quarterback. I'd say we may even have some sort of pass package to him at some point.
He drove the bus the other day, too.
That's right. Yeah, what else can we do with Jace? That's right. So, once again, great game. Appreciate all of our fans being out.
Looking for something the whole family can watch? Check out Optilink's new channels. MAV TV is a great place for motorsports and hit movies. Antenna TV is TV the way it used to be with your favorite old shows. Catch today's funniest comedians on Comedy TV. And there's Glenn Beck's new network, The Blaze. For hit movies and shows in HD, try Universal and FXX. For uplifting programming, there's Up TV or Aspire, Magic Johnson's new network. For more details, go to optilink.us.
Have you ever heard the term, your eyes are your expressions, the windows to your soul? But when your eyelids look tired and they start to sag, it will make you look much older than you actually are. There is a simple surgical procedure called a blepharoplasty or eyelid tuck, which can help to rejuvenate and redefine the contours around your eyelids. It will even improve your fields of vision, and a portion may even be covered by insurance. We can help redefine how others see you.
All right, Coach Land, let's talk a little bit about the upcoming game with the Cass Colonels. A little bit of a scheduling quirk here. We're playing our third home game in week 4 of the season.
Yeah.
So
nice
that just means
to be at home.
We're going to pack our bags and be on the road for a while after this, right?
Yeah, it is. It is. That's the way the schedule this year fell out. And at the end of the day, it's been great to be at home. I've enjoyed. I love Harmon. Period. For any kind of game, but really our home games. But now we will hit the road after this game. It's our first sub-region game, but really kind of our last home game for about a 2 or 3 game ride, and then we'll be coming back. And when we come back, that grass probably won't be quite as green.
Before we talk about Cass, let's talk a little bit about this sub-region setup and just kind of how that's going to work.
Well, this is our crossover game.
North Atlanta
was right. We originally, the second region we were in, when it was a 13-game Region 7 after we came out of Region 5, thanks to the GHSA, we had 2 crossover games. But when they increased the number of teams, increased the number of sub-region games, we dropped one of our crossover games. So basically we're going right into our sub-region schedule now, and of course our sub-region consists of Cass, Sequoia, Creekview, River Ridge, Rome, and Cass. And so those teams will now hit. We're on basically a
6 week
run. That's right, and it's money games. I mean, they all count. And at the end of the day, you can have a down week, but you better make sure that they have a worse week than you do when it comes time to schedule.
So our fans need to book their next 6 Friday nights to either, probably be on the road most of the time.
Yeah.
We're going to need you there, and then take off on Halloween for trick-or-treating.
Yeah, we're off Halloween. That's right. That's the week before play-in game.
Fabulous. hand out your candy, and then be ready.
Well,
for
I know
the
that's an
playing
important
game.
date for you. You know,
most certainly.
So yeah, that's right. We'll play 6 straight weeks. Then we have a week off right before the play-in game, right. And then the play-in game. You know, we'd like to think that we're where we need to be. Our players know where we need to be, and hopefully that's where we'll be.
So we got Cass this week, and we know a lot about Cass.
We do.
We certainly know. And a couple years ago, we knew a heck of a lot more than we wanted to know about Cass.
Yeah, last time they came here, they
it was a buzzsaw.
That's right.
The last time they came here. So, but they're a good football team, and they're well coached.
Well, the last time they came here, they probably brought the most talented team that they had in probably 25 years, based on what Coach Casco had told me. This year, Coach Casco's left. He's down in, I think, Glade Central now, down in Miami. Has moved down. Bobby Hughes, who was a longtime defensive coordinator, longtime coach in this area, is now the head coach. Great friend of mine, just a really solid coach. You know, when you go down to these Atlanta meetings, you form some alliances. So between he and Coach Perkins at Rome, and you know, you have to kind of stick together. But just a great team of coaches down there. You know, the offensive coordinator, someone we're familiar with, a good friend of ours as well. So I said this is going to be, from a coaching standpoint, this will be a very, very well coached team. And what they're going to want to do will first come in and look at all of our weaknesses, all the things that we've not done well, all of our tendencies, and they'll attack that before they're going to come in and say, okay, this is who we are, because they're a young team as well.
Right. Not going to change their system defensively. No. We've seen them play. Defensively, they're going to run the 3-5 stack that we saw versus Calhoun. Offensively, they're kind of pistol spread.
Yeah. Actually, it's defensively, the only adjustment that I see, the last time they ran the 3-5, they were a lot more reading and running to the ball. It seemed like the night when we were scouting them, and you know this better than I do, I mean, they really were very active with their linebackers. So that might be something that we have to kind of tweak a little bit. Maybe even you guys have to draw up some extra play cards this week about what would they do against us. Offensively, their pistol team, they've got multiple athletes. You know, their offensive line, they lost a big lineman, NC State, I think was where he signed. It was a great kind of really the linchpin of their offensive line. So they're young in their offensive line, but they're big. And then big arm at quarterback. If you remember last year, the kid was a freshman. Right. He's about 6'3", 6'4", and he can throw it. And they, you know, they're going to run that zone read, run the jet, and then suddenly they're going to try to catch you to sleep, and he'll throw it 60 yards down the field and let those little fast guys run up underneath it. So, so really, really a dangerous team as far as I'm concerned.
And this is one team that you know, previous years weren't very, very aware of Cass and who they were, but we're becoming more and more. I relate a little bit to, like, you know, Gilmer became a really good rivalry between us and them.
Absolutely.
And this is kind of headed down that same path, I think. Now this is the third or fourth year in a row we've played them or something. So when you start getting, what's the old saying, familiarity breeds contempt?
That's right. Absolutely. That's
you kind of, when two football teams play each other, you kind of start heading up for over
you start rubbing each other the wrong way,
and
you start finding little things out. I think the great thing about Cass, that they're in a situation, they built a beautiful new school. We've now gone down for basketball. You and I went down for region tournaments and other things. So they've built a beautiful school. And, you know, generally when you think about Bartow County, everything kind of always centered around Cartersville.
Right.
And then you kind of had, Adairsville. Suddenly they started pulling when they built their new school. Well, now that they're pulling some athletes all the way up, you know, over to Cass. So right now there's always been good athletes in Bartow County. Always been good athletes. So this is a team I see us over the next couple of years continuing to build this rivalry. They could be the new Gilmer.
Right.
It's a perfect analogy of who they could become. I know this: they're going to be well coached and they're going to have athletes, and that's a dangerous combination on any Friday night. I don't care who and where you play. That's a dangerous combination.
Absolutely. Let's take a quick break. We'll be back with more Catamount football after these messages.
Train like a pro at Performance Sports Academy. Get one-on-one training from former professional and collegiate players, featuring indoor baseball and softball training facilities, ground ball area, 3 pitching mounds, and 4 batting cages. Performance Sports Academy is also available for team rentals. Call 706-537-3169 today and train like a pro at Performance Sports Academy.
You got this. You're almost there. Just one more good try.
Hey, you got this, baby. You can do this. I choose that one.
Excellent choice. You're going to love the new addition to your home, and it weighs 55 ounces.
I love it so much. It's perfect.
It's beautiful. When adding a new addition to your home, come to Carpet Express and let us deliver you from the pains of choosing your flooring.
Welcome back to Catamount Football. And Coach Lane, let's talk a little bit about a couple of topics here. First off, our young fellas, the middle school program is they've got a couple of I think they've got one more interscholastic game left, but then they've got a couple of the intramural things. Talk a little bit about what Coach Patrick and his guys are doing over there. They've it's a neat concept.
Well, it is, and it's something that he and I have been talking about for a couple of years. That he wanted to do, and this has been a perfect opportunity for him to do it. He's combined his 7th and 8th grade teams to make basically 4 intramural teams. So not only are the individual 7th and 8th grade teams maintaining their own schedule, but they're now also having an intramural day, 4 intramural days. And it's really been a neat concept because basically they had a draft so that, it was pretty much as equal distribution as you could get, 7th and 8th graders on both teams playing together, 4 individual sets of uniforms. So it's really cool. I mean, if you really come out and watch, and I'd like to encourage, to come out and see these last few that they have left to play. But basically, they're competing against each other. And that means every single kid's getting to play. There's not one single person that stands on the sidelines and is not getting to play. Nobody's playing the best 11 or the best, the best 5 are playing both ways. Every single person in that program is playing. And what a great opportunity to develop these young players and get them ready to come into high school. And I think, 4 years down the road, I think you're going to see our varsity team. We're going to reap the rewards of this, selfishly speaking, of what they're doing right now. It's a great concept Coach Patrick's got going on. They're getting the competition interscholastically of between the other schools. And coincidentally, they just picked up a game yesterday, so they've got one more of those games that they're going to be playing, of their regular games. But this concept is really neat, and it's a great day. And I mean, we host it over at the turf field, and you're talking there's 500-600 people that are there because they're there. They know their sons are going to play, right. And so it's just great. It's really, and cheerleaders, they got everything.
I think John did a great job of taking a potential problem. We can't find the league to get in.
Well, and nobody around here will play us.
Right.
We have one school around here that will play us, and that's it.
But he took that and turned it into a real positive, I think, for those kids in that program, and ultimately, I think, for the high school program. So
absolutely.
Real credit to those guys for doing what they're doing.
Absolutely, and I credit him on basically these other teams that he's finding to go out and play. Right. It's making these kids better, and it's not the perfect season or maybe like that. They may lose a game, but I'll tell you something. They're seeing better competition. I mean, you go down and play Bartow County, you go up and play Cleveland. I'm going to tell you, Cleveland is a fine, football town, and particularly with their young age. And so to me, as the head football coach of the varsity, it's exciting to me because he shares those film with us as varsity coaches. Those young guys are out there. We're watching you now because Coach will put those on that night, and we watch these guys, these young kids. So the future at Dalton High School really looks bright because, like I said, Coach Patrick, the middle school, is doing an outstanding job. His group of coaches and those players, they're getting a lot of playing time and a lot of development. I want to encourage anybody to come out and see those teams play.
Absolutely. And the high school, the young guys at the high school, the freshmen, are getting ready to play their third game.
Third game.
JV played their first game last week, beat McCauley. They did a wonderful job. So those guys are moving now, and that's such a nice reward for them. They work so hard in practice. It's good for them to get to play some games.
Well, there's kind of a double-edged sword that we have with our program. We stack our freshman games early in the year so that we can get those guys as much time as they can. And then that way we can kind of bleed those guys into our JV teams as their schedule comes in for those that could possibly go up and help at that next level. On the JV side, we like to try to get as many games played before week 6 and week 7 as we can because the reality is we've got some guys that are on the cusp of playing. They just need development time. And so we go down and you're one of our JV coaches and we put those guys, you're running our schemes sometimes. Some of the ones, we make some adjustments there. They're modified. They at least hear the same name. But they're developing within our schemes. And, our goal is we want to play as many kids on Friday night as we can, and we want every kid to play as quick as possible. That's our goal. That's the ultimate goal of our program, and we know that the only way to get better is play games. And so those guys are playing those games. We're moving those guys through the program, and the great thing about it is now you're beginning to see. We brought up a couple of guys this week to play on special teams. There's nothing make me happier than on special teams on Friday night to look out there and see not one single starter on it. Right. To see those JV guys that have developed through the year, because that's the first place that they can contribute to us. So I'm very proud of our coaches. You guys do an outstanding job. And like I said, we got some great JV games coming up. Freshmen play on Monday. JVs play on Thursday. Generally, if we have a home game, we'll play over at our Shaw Turf Field. But outside of that, we're on the road as well playing those games. So come by and see us. We'd love to have you out there.
Absolutely. Before we wrap up the segment, let's touch on real quick. We've got some guys that have moved on to the second level, some in the playing capacity, and then we've got some guys that are making their way through college as football managers.
Absolutely.
Which is pretty neat.
Absolutely.
Got B.J. Rowland at Georgia.
University of Georgia.
Kaylor Summers at Jacksonville State. Tanner Carr at Georgia Tech.
That's right.
And
Blake Evans.
Blake Evans at
Auburn University. That's right.
So we got 4 guys making their way through college that way. And then on the other side of it, we got the guys that are playing. Got Watson in his senior year at Georgia. Floyd in his fourth year, but as a redshirt at EKU.
And he's having a great year statistically. They've got him playing inside some, depending on who they're playing, and then they'll bump him back outside and play the defensive end. He's about 248 pounds now. So if you remember that Wire kid from Mississippi, it's good to see him playing a lot right now.
Dante Thomas at Carson Newman.
That's
they really like him. He's doing well there.
Yeah, he's playing starting at corner, and he's such a good hitter for him. I was talking to Coach a couple of weeks ago. They're looking at possibly moving him back to safety some and letting him play at safety as well. So that's a great compliment to our defensive coaches and to himself as well. Brought him along, and like I said, he's a guy that really figures into their plans, and he's just a sophomore.
The 3 amigos at Tusculum?
Yeah, that's right. We've got Chris Childs from last year. We've got Dante Thomas and Elijah Stidman. Elijah took a red shirt this year. Not Don. I'm sorry, Devontae Davis.
Devontae
Davis.
DVD.
DVD. That's right. That's all. Blu-ray. Right. And those guys are playing at Tusculum and just doing an outstanding job. Very, 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 very proud of those guys.
And then we got a couple of guys that are taking the preferred walk-on path. Got Lyle Durham at Ole Miss.
That's right.
And Jake Roberts at Georgia Southern.
That's right.
Not Georgia, at Kennesaw.
At Kennesaw State. Had a great conversation with Jake last Friday night, and he was just like, Coach, this is a great place here at Kennesaw State, and there's a lot of great things going on, and there's going to be a lot of great opportunities because you can imagine starting a team from point zero.
Right.
So just encourage a lot of people to get out next year. They'll start their schedule in 2015. So get out and see those guys play.
So we're certainly proud of those guys and want to wish them luck for the rest of the season, and hopefully next year we'll have some more guys feeding on out of our senior class this year.
Absolutely. We got a couple of guys that's already committed this year, and we'll kind of see what the cards has for them from this point on. The good thing about our guys this year, all are academically eligible and are able to take advantage of that opportunity. That's number one thing that gets a lot of these kids, and that's not here, that's everywhere. And so it's just great to see all those kids that are going to have that opportunity to be able to take that opportunity.
Well, very good. Let's take a short break here, and when we come back, we'll wrap up the show.
I can't believe it's football time again here in Northwest Georgia. The Oakwood Cafe and my family are big fans of football, much like most of our customers. But this year, instead of just rooting for our teams, we're also rooting for your team. So bring your ticket stub out to the Oakwood Cafe on Saturday night, and you will receive a discount based on your team's margin of victory. If your team wins by 50 points, you will receive 50% off. So good luck, and come on out to the Oakwood Cafe on Saturday night. Go Big Red!
Go Falcons!
Honesty, integrity, and hard work, leadership, quality, and value. Just a few words to describe the company and people that make up Shaw Industries. Shaw Industries, the world's leading carpet manufacturer, is proud to be a sponsor of Dalton Catamount football. Shaw Industries, where great floors begin.
The health of our region depends on the health of its people. That is why Hamilton is here. We're opening more physician practices and urgent care centers near you, offering medical care that fits your schedule. We're reaching out to the community and helping to train the next generation of health professionals, and giving you new ways to search for doctors and health information from wherever you are. We're here for you. Hamilton Medical Center. Your health is our mission.
All right, Coach Land, we come to the end of the show, and like we always do, we need to say thanks from folks. And I really think we need to have a special thank you to our fans, because
Absolutely.
the ones that they all came back, they could have very easily gone to their car and said, I think I'm going to go get a hamburger and go home and listen to the radio.
That's right, yeah.
So certainly appreciate those guys coming back to the stands.
No doubt. It was great. In fact, that was one of our worries, and with it being senior night, one of our teachers came down and said, do we want to consider a senior night 2.0? And I said, no, you know what, I've got faith in our fans. I think they're going to come back, and they did. And it was a great crowd that night. Had a lot of people here. A lot of people were in from out of town as well to see sons and grandsons and nephews and nieces. And, just a tremendous night. A lot of seniors on that field, not just in our football players, but in our band and in our cheerleaders. Just did just a wonderful job, Jeff McKinney and all that group that put that together. It was very efficient and thankfully willing to work with us on moving some schedules around with the lightning delay. But yeah, I really appreciate the fans coming back out. And you know what? I had great fans throughout the game. I mean, they were into the game, a little bit soggy, but at the end of the day, just a great place to be is Harmon Field.
Certainly be remiss if we didn't thank Jerry Scott and the quarterback club. Every week, just can't say enough about what a tremendous job they do for our
there's
kids
a lot of
there's
a lot of challenges on Friday night. The average person just could not. You just can't imagine. I mean, and some of them are because of what we choose to put on as a game. A lot of them has to do with just standard stuff that football teams have. I mean, needs that we have getting stuff on and off the field. And our quarterback club goes well above and beyond.
So they just don't stand there and play cat scratch
no,
fever, right?
That's right.
They do a little bit more work.
That's 65% of the time. The other 35% of the time. No, they do a lot, and they do a lot of prep work before we get here, and do a lot of prep work when we leave. And I tell you, I really, really appreciate what our quarterback club and those moms and dads that are involved in that. And our corporate sponsors financially making it able to do what we do, and really appreciate all that. Really do appreciate it. And the kids appreciate it. That's more important. The kids appreciate it.
Well, let's wrap up the show like we always do and say we'll be back in next week, same cat time, same cat channel.
Go Big Red.